That is why we encourage humanity right now to do something that is seemingly very simple, but it is so important. And that is what has not been given enough credit at this time has been the imagination. It has been thrown into a basket as though it was some childish thing or something that has no merit, has no foundation, has no import. But what we are saying is that right now, especially right now, that humanity is at a point where they can create their reality at a level that they have never understood before. And using your imagination is the straightest route to truth. Using your imagination is the straightest route to truth. In any form, art that you draw, singing, gardening, anything that you imagine is the way that reality is at present being created. And there's so much power and force in creating with the imagination. And that is why it is important to keep your imagination fertile and to not try to keep something in a linear fashion, this is real, this is more serious, this is what is important for humanity to understand. Trying to fall back on old norms, old foundations that, while are beautiful in many ways, in order for this humanity to grow and learn what it is to be living in the heart, the density that reflects the heart. And this is a very, very basic understanding people have of what the fifth density is and what it means. It means so much. It means so much more than the nature of reality will shift, and you can experience it like sand slipping out from under your feet, like when you're at the ocean. It is faster. It is immediate. It is whatever your heart desires. But the important thing to know is that when you are accessing whatever your heart desires, it is moving now in the direction where you cannot desire something that is not good for the whole. You cannot just benefit yourself. And not, you don't have to look for it either. You don't have to have a moral question about what you are desiring. If it is in your heart, it is right. It is very simple. It is very simple. Now, we want to end, you might say, on this idea of what does it mean to have this new vibration on the planet right now? What does it mean for humanity? What does it look like? Well, it looks like much of what we have said. It looks like the expansion of consciousness, the arrival of synchronicity like you've never even imagined. And the more the synchronicities pour in, the more it will begin to replace the limited reality that you have been living in. This slow pace, the effort and the miserable effort that it took to try to get to point B, and then by the time you got to point B, you didn't care anymore. That is the real reason why people say when you finally get that thing, you're happy for 2 minutes and then it's over. It is because the amount of seeming time between point A and point B, and it is, you already lived the excitement in many ways, and you didn't have time to be in the excitement for much time at all. And it was anticlimactic. Now, we are saying it is more easy to access your heart. It is a time when things will manifest with a nod from your heart. In other words, when you start moving in a direction that feels like it isn't vibrating completely, like you have an inspiration for a moment and then you start down a path and it feels more fleeting, it is okay to put that down. It is a sign that that is not the entire journey in that moment. It is a sign that it is not all that it seemed in the initial moment of the inspiration. It is okay to practice and to sample different things, but know when to put it down. That is important because humanity has lived in not all of humanity. Some humanity are very flexible in their activities, and feel rightly so. They are able to honor and feel enough worth to be able to move freely and easily in this reality. But now that the vibrations have shifted and the humanity is now going to have a wonderful opportunity to find out what they're worth, because they will allow themselves to play over here. And then when they're just like when you're a child, you don't question, well, we're going to play in the mud and we're going to throw some sticks around. And in that moment, you're going to do that for the rest of your life. That's it. But the lunch bell rings and suddenly it's time for sandwiches and all is forgotten. To capture the joy, the inspiration, the spontaneity, and the fearlessness, the sandwich is coming idea, to embody that is the greatest assist you can give to humanity right now. It is to be inspired and to have enough courage to put down something once the inspiration is fading. It is fine. Do it. Live every angle. Live fully. Live from your heart. Learn what your heart wants by starting and letting it go, and starting and letting it go. Find out what it is to be human in this new vibration. And we are not saying all bad things that you judge as limited are just disappearing because the earth has evolved. It is not such a hard cut like that. It is with the understanding that those who are moving in this direction have quite a lot of time to make their adjustments, to evolve. So it is about a willingness in the heart and an intention in the soul that those beings move in with the Gaia frequency towards enlightenment. And Gaia is very patient because she's very old. You understand, she is much more evolved than the average human is. So it is not the overnight experience that humanity has an understanding of time, of, oh, we were here, now we were here, and suddenly everything bad is disappearing. But what we will say is that there is a great opportunity for those who are able and willing to live in this new frequency to see changes in their existence and to imagine changes in their existence like they could never have imagined in the wildest dreams of their mind. All things are possible within this new frequency. But it is not the kind of frequency where the individual goes off and makes oneself happy all for its own sake. It is like you cannot make yourself happy unless it feels within the whole group consciousness that all is being served. Now, you won't know that. You won't realize that there's a whole group consciousness being served by your inspiration. But when it doesn't feel right, that is when it's moving away from the whole. And so that is how the group is coming together in this community of evolution. And we are very, very glad to see this shift. And there are many souls who have waited many lifetimes to experience this freedom that they could have fleeting moments of in other lifetimes. But this time now is the time to realize more about oneself than ever. You are most welcome. And we have had great fun in this exchange because it is one of great life force, one of great joy. And so we are thankful for your attention, and your presence is allowing there to be this exchange occurring. So we are bowing to you as well, soul.